Hi guys, thanks for having me here. I'm Michael Joseph with Canon, and I'm out of Jacksonville, Florida actually, and thanks for having me to this event. It was kind of cool coming with Paul and visiting everybody this week and helping you out with questions. Now what we just did, or what you're about to see, is kind of a step up. We went from the 14-2.8 rectilinear and then took additional primes, all the 1.4s and 1.2s that we've got here in our grab bag. And Michael here stayed at the same distance from the subject and just stepped it up. And then we talked about maybe some of the characteristics or benefits of each lens along the line. And also on your camera setup, he was shooting a 5D2, full chip obviously, and I think he did everything wide open. So to accomplish that, he rode and adjusted the ISO a little bit so that he could stay wide open on each one of those lenses. And in just a few minutes, you'll see what he did for you. It's kind of cool, actually. That, of course, is the 14-2.8. The really cool thing is it's the widest rectilinear lens on the planet, and where it shines is in interior architecture. You don't get the funky bow like you would on a 15 fisheye, which that has its own really cool look. We've got one of those coming up next. But this is great, and of course, it's fairly fast being a 2.8. Beautiful lens, highly desirable. This is the 15 2.8 fisheye. Love to have this in the bag, even if you're just only using it very limited, just a salt and pepper, you know, to have some really cool perspectives. I love especially the close focus on this. You can make an object that you're photographing just so cool looking, and it looks huge. You can also distort facial. Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. So that's the 15-2.8. It's a rectangular fisheye filling the frame. And of course, we don't have it. We got to play with the prototype late last fall, but we got the new fisheye zoom coming out. It's an f4, it's an L lens. We can't wait to get our hands on it for everyday use because it's two lenses in one. It's going to give you that same rectangular fish effect, which is almost like 180 degrees from left to right, and gives you a 360 circular in the same lens. And we don't have the exact price on that yet, but that's going to be cool. But that's the 15-2.8 right now we're looking at, fisheye. Now we're looking at the 35-1.4. Great lens, tack sharp, gives you an excellent perspective without really any visible distortion. Highly desirable. Also, what's cool about having a 35-1.4, not just for the speed of the lens, but also it gives you maybe a normal perspective if you're more like a 50 to 55 if you're going to put it on some of the field of view, the crop factored cameras like the 1D, or if you're going to play with that on a 7D, for example. I like that lens. 35-1.4. So here's the 50-1.2. For those that have to watch the economy and the budget a little bit, there is the 50-1.4 that I love. We've got that here as well, but this is the 1.2 for almost like nocturnal type capture. And again, if you're on a sensor that is a little bit smaller, not the full chip, then you're up there into, let's say, about the field of view of about 80 to 85 millimeters. So again, it has its place. And then on the full chip, you're back to the standard 50. But a great, super great low light lens, and probably one of the most, I would say, attended lenses of the event that I've seen around here this week, the 51-2. This is the 51-4. This is what I carry in my bag. For the work that I do, I don't necessarily need the 1.2. I'm pretty happy with the 1.4, and I like its compact size. It also gives you some savings on the budget. I think it's a fabulous lens. It's not of the L quality in the case and in the enclosure and, let's say, some weatherproofing that you're going to find on an L lens like the 1.2. But for the economy of it, I think it's a fabulous choice. I have some friends that I've sent along with them on sometimes a whole, they've traveled the globe, and they actually own the 85-1.2 and the 50-1.2, both. But they say, dude, I'm going far and wide, and I got to go light. So I loan them my 1.4 like that. And I also have an 85-1.8, which that's coming up soon, which that saves you some weight and some price. Even though that 1.2 85 is so popular, that's coming up here in a minute. 85-1.2. Yeah, I'm going to quote Paul. It's one of the best lenses ever made, one of the sharpest lenses, And again, it's got its own look. The out of focus portion, the bokeh that's created because of the blades and the construction of just the whole design of the blades themselves gives that look unlike anything else in your bag. But there's a price to pay for it, but it's gorgeous. And so people just bite the bullet and get it. Now we're grooving with the 85-1.8. It's a money saver. It saves you on space, weight. If I sent you out to photograph stills of a boxing match, I probably wouldn't send you with the 85-1.2 because there's so much glass to turn and focus. But this thing's going to have lightning fast speed in terms of focus, and but not quite as fast in terms of low light. It's 1.8 instead of 1.2. But a great lens, and it doesn't break the bank. Love it. I personally have that in my bag. 135-2.0, just as gorgeous and dangerous as the 85-1.2. You got to know what you're doing. That limited depth of field is gorgeous, but you got to work it. It's so beautiful. I definitely have this lens in my bag. It's worth every penny, and actually it's still fairly economical. It's a beautiful L lens. Look at that.
Oh, did you get updates?
And again, it has its own characteristic of that out of focus portion like the bokeh. Look at his ears back there on my left, on our left right now, versus his eyes. Yeah, get the eye, look at that. That's absolutely beautiful. So somebody that knows what they're doing with an 85-1.2 and a 135-2.0, it's a beautiful piece of art. Wonderful lens. Oh yeah, sweet. All right, we're really in there now because we've combined the 1.4 tele adapter with the 135-2.0, which you're on a full chip right now. You're on a 5D2, right?
Yep.
So that's putting you at about 189, call it 190 millimeters, and you're only losing one effective f-stop. So you're at 2.8. So you're at about 280 at 2.8. And to the naked eye, we're not compromising quality. I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks like we're basically still looking through a fixed. Edge to edge, look at that. And I love the fall off. So it still has the characteristics and the beauty of the 2.0 without it, but it doesn't mess anything up. It actually is a wonderful enhancement. And I carry that in my bag. I love that because you're only losing one stop, and yet you're gaining a little bit of length. It's beautiful.